Can you hear me? There we go. I think we're on. Can you hear me? I think I can hear you. I got no audio on you.
How about now?
Yep. Now I can
Okay.
hear you.
I always forget to turn my microphone on.
Yeah, me too. Well, that's what I was doing. I was turning my microphone on.
Cool. Do you have the gong?
I do. I have it right here.
I love that thing.
It's like freaking rad. Oh, there's the hammer. I actually made the hammer. It's got cedar. See, there's like, oh.
You made that?
Yeah, I lost the hammer in the fire because I had a fire a few years back. My house burned down.
Oh no.
But yeah, it was all covered with soot and I polished it back up.
Wow. You did polish it. It looks great.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's like
welcome to Gong Show Tarot. You're the first recurring guest we've had on this show, I believe.
Amazing.
You're the only recurring guest, so that's pretty cool. It's a new milestone.
Cool.
Welcome back to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. There's so much going on right now, right?
Yeah, lots going on. Oh man, energetically, metaphysically, timelines. I think timelines are starting to really split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. You said it was bring your pet to the show today. So
yeah.
It's my pet. So.
An octopus.
Yeah.
An octopus.
I have cats too, but they don't behave.
They don't want to hang out with us. We're not cool enough.
Dur was here right before I turned the camera on, but I think she has like a sixth sense whenever it comes to that. So she was like, I'm not gonna do it.
Some don't like to be photographed, like crows. You were mentioning crows. You were chatting with me earlier, and I've tried to photograph crows, but it's like they sense it, and they're like, oh, and it's hard to get a good shot.
Yeah, it is. They like to talk to you though. I mean, like I'm like, oh.
So you speak crow? Is that true?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like what I'm saying to them exactly, but they seem to like really react to it pretty enthusiastically.
That was my next question: is what do you say to a crow, or how do you know what they're saying? Sort of.
They're probably like, who's this crazy lady? What the hell is she talking about? I don't understand her. I don't know. I'm not sure. I like get animals, but they don't really have words. Like, I mean, I get like feelings from them, but I don't know. I don't feel like language words from them. I know my cats understand English. They had like vocal cords like us and lips that could shape words. They would be able to talk for sure.
Cats are really amazing. My favorite movie when I was a kid, or one of my favorite movies, was The Cat from Outer Space. Do you remember that one?
I don't remember that one. I don't think I'm familiar with that at all.
Basically like the original cat video. Like not much happens except this cat comes down in a UFO, and then there's a lot of like, it's like watching YouTube cat videos like back in the last century, like, because that's all they had, right? Was these Disney movies with cats kind of wandering through the scene.
Yeah, I really liked a lot of the like kind of surrealistic sort of like almost dark like fantasy stuff whenever I was a kid. Like
yeah, I read a lot of fantasy myself. I read tons of like Piers Anthony and
me too. Did you read Hassan?
Oh, probably. I don't know. He wrote so many. He wrote a lot of books.
It was very Middle Eastern, and like it had like they were like the flying creatures that were like the Sumerian, guard creatures. They're kind of like sphinxes, but not quite.
Cool.
Yeah,
some of his stuff was really out there. I liked Orson Scott.
A little erotic too. Well. I was like really surprised, like as a kid, especially.
My favorite book was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, just because it was so silly, right?
Yeah, I had a couple of favorites whenever I was growing up. I really liked Robert A. Heinlein. He did like The Cat Who Walked Through Walls and To Sail Beyond the Sunset. It's like kind of
Stranger in a
so,
Strange Land. You have to
yeah,
remember
Stranger in
Stranger
a
in a Strange
Strange
Land.
Land.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too. That was like one of the last ones that I read though. But
Okay.
I also liked Tanith Lee. It's like she did Tales from the Flat Earth and Kill the Dead, and yeah, they're like really good books. As a matter of fact, I named my oldest daughter Jazrin after an
Oh
insane
wow.
in one of her books.
Jazzarin, not Jasmine.
Yeah,
Jazzarin.
yeah, it's Jazrin.
Jazzarin. And does it mean something, or is it just a cool name?
No, and it wasn't like a particularly likable character. I just thought it was a beautiful name. I was like,
You liked the name. Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool.
the character was actually like an insane queen. So I
Mm,
don't. But I told Jazz, and she didn't mind. We call her Jazz. So
yeah. What are you smoking? I'm a little jealous. You're smoking something there.
this is a vape. This is just like tobacco. But then I've got this one here. This is banana split. It's some sort of a THC vape.
Banana split. It's like a dessert, and it's got drugs in it. That's kind of cool.
It doesn't taste like banana split though at all.
Mm.
I don't know.
So it keeps you calm.
It keeps me yeah, something.
Yeah, a
I
lot
don't
of
know
people are
about,
taking the CBD for anxiety because it's kind of an anxious time with all the energy shifts going on and everything. It
it
can be
really is
stressful.
effective for that. It's like I can say from whenever I had really severe OCD when I was a kid,
Did you?
and yeah, smoking pot and listening to music is what basically like got me to where I could drive and not do all sorts of irrational behaviors.
Mm, mm. What kind of irrational behavior would you do when you were younger, Becky?
um, I used to flip my light switches on and off like a zillion times, and like whenever I flushed the toilet, I had to jump up onto the counter or something
Oh.
bad was going to happen. I don't know. It was like
So
really
that
irrational.
so these are like OCD behaviors, kind of, where
Yeah,
you have to do certain things.
and my yeah, it was compulsive, obviously, very obsessive compulsive. And I'm an anxious connector, like that's my attachment style is anxious. So it's like I've worked through that a bit. I'm not nearly as anxious. Now I'm like way more patient and like centered. It's like it's amazing. And pot really does help. I mean, some people, I mean, like your friend that see, I'm horrible with names, and this is the Kimber.
Kimber,
Kimber,
yeah.
yeah, Kimber, see, there my file guy figured it out. Good file guy. But Kimber, she's allergic to pot, so
Oh,
she
is
can't.
she? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So she can't does she take anything for anxiety, or does she just have to try to cope?
I think she just has to try to cope.
That's
That's what
hard.
it sounded like. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people
So,
yoga really works, right? Like if you get all that extra tension out of your body, because that's what causes stress, right? It's usually like muscle tension, but
yeah, yeah,
a lot
totally.
of people
Well,
it's in the
and
brain.
masturbation helps.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there, you know.
I do
Nothing
it.
wrong
I'll
with it.
admit it. I do it because
Everybody
yeah,
does
probably
it.
stress, you know.
People that don't do it, mm,
They're
they're
tightly
lying.
wound. I think they're
I think
very
they're
tightly wound.
lying. I think
Or
everybody
they're
does it.
or they're just liars. Yeah. Yeah. Or they're just very lucky and they happen to have partners all the time. I suppose there's that too.
Yeah, I guess, but still, I don't know. I think that still, I don't know. Maybe, maybe it's possible, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. 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 So are you working on any big canvases right now? Any big art projects?
I am not working on any big canvases right now. This one that here is one that is almost done. It's like I'm covering up the part that's not done yet. Oh, see, it's like,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
upside down. It's totally upside down.
Yeah. The whole, oh, it is upside down. Look at that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty crazy, that one.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what's going on and I can't.
Yeah, I bet you if I flipped it over, it would be a little bit more logical.
Might make sense. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So there's a dude on the left there.
Yeah,
And then
he's like
what's
kind
on?
of a monster
He's a bit
guy.
monstery. Yeah. And what's on the right? Just some more demons and stuff?
This is like a skull over
Skull.
here, and then there's
Okay.
like this guy here,
Yeah.
and this is like the void. and there's this angel guy with wings here, and
Okay.
there's like an owl. This is not quite done yet. And then there's like this bug creature, and this lady right here with her hand. And then there's this person here that's kind of like a I don't know, like a kind of a froggish, like reptilian person. I don't know. And that's like kind of like one of the Native American spirits, this guy.
Now, do people collect? Are you at the point where people collect your work, or do you sell prints? Like, do you keep originals? What do you do?
Right now I'm having everything photographed
Okay.
by Hattie Brown. She's my photographer. She's a local friend of my, or daughter of one of my friends. And she's taking photographs. We dropped off like 10 of the paintings here a while back. And then I'm making like NFTs. You know what NFTs are?
NFTs.
Non-fungible tokens. They're
Okay.
like,
Oh,
they're
okay.
like
So you're
crypto.
accepting this as payment kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's a crypto thing. So
Yeah.
it's like art.
Okay. Yeah, you sent me that link. I haven't really taken a lot of time to look at it. How's the traffic on that site? Are you getting lots of traffic?
I don't know yet. I'm not
Not sure.
sure. And it was a little bit expensive to set up, although not
Was it?
nearly as expensive as some sites because I used OpenSea. So
Yeah.
that's like one of the ones that's like you have to pay in Bitcoins or Ether. It's actually Ethereum based, that one. But there's other ones. There's like a bunch of them apparently.
Okay, so you
And
have to pay. It's like a monthly membership kind of thing.
no, it's like a per listing. Some of them are per
Okay.
listing and some of them
Yeah.
are, but like with OpenSea, I only had to pay initially, and it was like probably, I think it was like $80 worth of Ether coins just to
So
set up
just to
the
get started. Yeah.
yeah, but then I can list as many as I want in that collection, and I can set the prices for whatever I want. And it's residual too. You get like, if somebody buys it and then resells it, then you get like 10% if you set it up that way.
Oh, so you don't
So,
necessarily have to pay a listing fee. You can do commission instead. Is that what you're saying?
no. It's like,
No. Okay.
so if I sell something out of my collection there, then somebody else has it and they own it.
Mhm.
And if they resell it to somebody else at some point, I get 10% of that sale as
Oh,
well.
interesting. That's interesting. Okay.
Forever, basically. So
Wow.
because I set it up like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
So
really
that could change. That could change how art is traded if that went on.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like, but right now they're going, it's because it's like so new. I think they're
Yeah.
going through like this period where everybody's adjusting, like trying to figure out like, well, what's to keep somebody from downloading a bunch of things and making them into NFTs, and
Yep.
they actually belong to somebody else.
That happens all the time. People's stuff is constantly getting stolen. I've even seen it where they're not even stealing the art. They're just taking credit for painting it. So they're trying to create a reputation based on someone else's work, which is really sleazy, but it happens.
Yeah, well, and
Yep.
that's kind of the nature of art in a way. It's like, I want to say it, everything is original, but nothing is really original. It's like all been done. It's just we're pulling things out of the ether, and it's like we're making new combinations. There's only so much matter. We're just recombining it. It's like they say that math is discovered. It's not invented, like new math, like calculus was not invented. It was rediscovered because it already existed.
Yeah.
It's just like everything else.
It's just who's going to find it first kind of thing, or who's going.
Yeah, totally. And
Yeah.
and I think right now it's a really a time where everything is really starting to balance, because it's like the banking system is really seriously feeling these effects of
Yeah.
of like all the Bitcoin and on all of this stuff. It's really like the whole GameStop thing.
Oh, I know. It's getting crazy, right? And that will happen again. That's going to keep happening, that kind of thing for a while, I think.
Yeah, it's subversive
Yeah.
disruptions.
It's going to get more and more disruptive until the wheels really start coming off or something, right? Something's got to give.
See, but it's like the tower card. You know how you said it was like you didn't think it was a good thing? This is like the tower embodied. This is like the old foundation is crumbling for the old system, And then we're going to have to, of course, like go around cleaning up, stacking up bricks into little piles, and friggin' figure out what we're going to recycle. And we're going to have to build something new. And that's what's kind of going on simultaneously as the tower is crushing down. It's like also there are new things being built from these bricks that people are scavenging.
Yeah, so it actually can be a very exciting time of renewal and, you know, new ideas or old ideas, because like you said, like, you know, what happens? Do we go back to a society that lives in the trees like the Druids? I mean, they already did that, right?
They could do that. It could happen again, but it won't
Yeah.
be our choice, I don't think, because we're like so into our technology. It's like my phone is my prosthetic brain, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
It's
I
like
wonder,
really
it
giving
probably
attachment.
wouldn't take that long though, right? Probably after a couple of months, you might go through some really harsh withdrawal.
Oh yeah, to adjust, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We would have to, but it's some people would not make it. There's like some people just would not, they would not adjust.
Well, imagine people that have grown up with the phones, right?
I
Where,
know. It's like very scary to me in a way. I'm
yeah,
like, I hope that they go camping and like do things like, you know, that they can actually use if something like that were to happen.
yeah.
You know, it's like
Well, some people up here were
I'm all
pissed
prepped up.
because all the campsites, they put in these really intense Wi-Fi antennas in campgrounds, and some people argued that, well, maybe we shouldn't have this. Maybe we should just kind of give up the Wi-Fi for the weekend and just camp.
Well, and I think they do that on national. I think that they don't have Wi-Fi. Like if you go to a national park, you're not going to have Wi-Fi.
Oh, and they don't have it there.
I don't think so. No, not
Oh,
unless
okay.
you have a GPS phone or something.
Yeah.
I
Not
mean,
yet. Not yet. They're gonna
yeah,
try to
well,
put
and
it everywhere.
it will happen soon.
Yeah.
But you know, we all have to start like really like imagining that the sun is not going to unleash its, you know, flares upon us, because that could knock out everything.
It already feels bright. Does it feel brighter to you lately? Like a lot brighter?
It does,
Yeah.
and that is a real thing. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you, I follow this guy, Suspicious Observers, and he like,
Okay.
does a report every day on the sun. And like yesterday, there was a pretty like, it was like a red peak sort of flare, like it was a coronal hostorium, I think. But I was not feeling good yesterday at all.
Okay. And were you outside for any length of time or you just weren't?
I wasn't, but I'm really super
Okay.
sensitive to the sun. Like,
So you felt it even being indoors, you could feel this.
yeah, and I live in an adobe, so this is like thick walls. These walls are like 2 feet
Oh,
thick.
okay. So it stays nice and cool in there in the summer?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got plastic on my windows, so it actually stays pretty warm in the winter too. It's like we have
Wow.
one here. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
Nice. Nice. And you guys are you have garden beds there. You're getting ready to
Mhm.
start growing more of your own
Yeah,
food.
it's almost time. Almost
Yeah.
time. Although it froze the other night, had to cover up we have fruit trees, so, and we had to cover them up because the blossoms were already blooming and we didn't want them to freeze off.
So you're still getting frost down in New Mexico.
Well, this is probably going to be pretty close to the last of it. Usually
Okay.
by the end of April, we don't get any more like snow or really super cold weather.
Hmm. And you're in the is it pretty desert? Like is it pretty much desert there?
It's high desert, so
Okay.
yeah, it's
Tundra.
not like a lot of grass. It's sagebrush and rabbit brush and like little fluffy grasses, and you know, a bunch of wildflowers and
And
Indian paintbrushes.
do people plant trees? Do the cities do they try to plant
They
trees and try to
do.
yeah.
They do. There, it's a lot of people do xeriscaping, so it's like rocks instead of grass.
Okay.
But there's like, and then there's a lot of places around here that have artificial grass too, which isn't too bad.
I hate that stuff. I mean, it looks
It's
green,
okay.
right? Like at a glance, you're driving by, it looks nice.
I have a friend who has her
Yeah.
whole backyard done in it, and in Morelos, which is like kind of a historical area.
Okay.
And her house is a little wild. She's like really into Alice in Wonderland, and so we decorated her whole backyard. But she has like a fake grass. Like she actually bought some on like Craigslist from a place that was like I don't know, it was some sort of a sports thing, and they were replacing their grass, so she just bought all their old grass.
Okay, so she got it at a discount.
Oh
Discount
yeah,
AstroTurf for sale.
she's a
That's
pro shopper, man. I mean,
yeah. I'm looking for a roof rack. and I'm hoping to either trade for it or just get it for next to nothing, or make one. I was thinking I might make one out of wood.
Yeah, you have to really, really secure it because the vibrations, no
Yeah.
nails. You have to have screws. So
I
all
was
I got
gonna
to say
try
about
rope.
that.
I was gonna try and tie it together, but that could
No,
rattle loose, right? You don't think it would work?
yeah, no,
Okay.
no. You
So
definitely want, yeah,
screws.
screws. And if you can find some like aluminum piping or something like that, you could screw that together pretty easily.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might work.
Yeah,
Oh. Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's, I mean, and but a lot of people recycle their aluminum, so it's kind of hard to find it.
Yeah.
It can be done. I mean, and you could use wood, but you would have to like screw it together. No
Yeah.
nails, no tying it together because
You
the
don't think
vibration from the vehicle,
it
no,
just
that would
shake
vibrate apart.
apart? Yeah. Yeah. And no, create not hot glue wouldn't. I have
Be
duct
like,
tape.
walk into this, slap,
What,
slap, slap.
what about some, yeah, bam, bam. What about some duct tape? That maybe that would work. No.
No, I don't think so. But especially not with wood. I mean,
Yeah.
mm,
It would last for maybe 5 or 10 minutes and then it would
yeah,
start
yeah. Well,
falling
and
off the back.
depending on how much weight you have on it, you really, I mean, if you could find some pallet, if you could find a pallet, you could probably fix a pallet to the top of your car.
That's a good idea, actually. There's lots of places that give away pallets. That's a
Yeah, and
great
they are
idea.
put together pretty well. That's what Scott built the garden beds out of. So,
Okay. I could just use bungees maybe to tie that on.
mm, yeah, I don't know about the attaching it. You would probably have to fix it a little bit more firmly to your vehicle than bungee cords because those are
I'll
like,
just I'll just use magic. I'll just
you have to have some pretty good magic.
magnetism. The law of attraction,
Magnet,
baby.
magnets don't stick to wood.
I know. I know. It
And
doesn't work.
magnets are only as powerful as what you like. The magnets are have to be really powerful. I mean, yeah, I have a bunch of magnets, but I like can attach stuff to the ceiling, but once it gets past a certain weight, they want to fall off.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, and whenever you're going around corners, sliding around, with weight, if you have weight on it that is not magnet stuff, then the weight will slide it off your
It
roof
just
or
pulls
whatever
it
it is.
right off. Yeah. So it's not effective anymore to hold up your artwork or whatever it is that you want to do with it.
Yeah, it's like I had a magnetic tracker on it, like for a vehicle. You could like stick it on the vehicle or up under a seat or something like that. And that doesn't stay fixed, even though it's a really super powerful magnet.
Okay. Moves
The
around.
yeah, vibrations vibrate it off too.
Yeah. And
I
that's so
lost
if your vehicle gets stolen, you can find it again. Is that kind of the
yeah,
idea?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, your vehicle, your boyfriend, whatever.
Oh, you have him tagged as well.
No, I used to
Oh, really? You had a tracker on him?
for a little while. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not proud of it, but yes, I will
he
be
was a
honest.
problem, was he? He kept running away?
No, I was just
Yeah.
anxious. Anxious attachment.
Yeah,
I was
it's oh, okay. So you were jealous of him
No,
around
I
other
wasn't
women?
jealous. I
No.
was just worried. I was worried.
Okay. Yeah.
That was back whenever I was more insecure.
But you got over it. You're fine now.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Yeah, I'm completely fine too. There's nothing wrong with me at all. I'm totally fine.
Really? You don't
No,
sound
not really.
convincing.
I'm a mess. I'm a mess. But we all are, and that's kind of part of being human, I think, is we all have baggage. We all have journeys that we're working through.
Yeah, if you don't have any baggage, you're not interesting at all.
I have so much baggage. What can we talk about? Sorry, I'm a little boring today.
You're not boring. I don't think you're boring.
Maybe this is the boring show.
The boring show, the boring, 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 boring.
I'm
That
trying
sounds
to drink
good.
more water because I got really depressed for a bit,
I noticed
and
that.
I stopped drinking, and then it sort of gets worse because then you're dehydrated, and then you get further down, right?
Mm,
But
yeah,
when I'm hydrated, I'm usually fine.
I'm like, let's see. Some alcohol today, maybe.
What you
Some alcohol.
drinking? Oh, Malibu. Nice.
It's mellow. It's not really alcohol.
You just drink it straight, or?
Mm. hmm It's not bad. I don't drink that much actually. It's kind of it lowers your vibration. So if you're like a little like up, it can bring you back down.
Yeah.
That whole vibrational regulation.
It's important. I think it's for people that are sensitive. I consider myself to be a little bit sensitive to energy. And there's
Very.
very different levels of sensitivity. Some of it I shut off actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have discernment and you can disconnect a little bit. I was just having a conversation with Scott about this earlier, and it was like because I don't get bugged by clutter, it doesn't bug me, but like with him it like drives him insane.
Oh, that's
Like,
fun.
yeah.
So
And I'm all like, well, that sounds like a personal problem,
and you just keep like leaving stuff in random. Do you like try to drive nuts, or it just happens?
No, it just happens. And it's not
Okay.
like he's the most like organized person in the world either, but it's like
He prefers it if it's tidy.
yeah. Well, and I'm like, I like to have all my stuff out where I can see it. And I have a very organized brain, so it's like I remember where I put things, like which like pile they're in, vague, and I just go and like ramble, ruffle through it a little bit, and boom, there's the thing.
I know it's a generalization, but apparently females are much better at what you just described. They're way better at categorizing and remembering where stuff is, and guys
Yeah,
are not as good at
we were
that.
the gatherers, you guys were hunting like animals and you had to learn how to track things, but it's like, so that's a little bit different than like knowing where all the berry bushes are, how.
Yeah, and which type of bush, you'd have to remember actually a lot of information, especially if you weren't writing things down. You would have to remember quite a bit of information to survive, I think.
Yeah,
Hunter
and I think
gatherer.
that's
Yeah.
also why, have you heard of polychromatic vision?
No.
Yeah, okay,
Is that
so
like
there.
seeing auras? Is this what?
No, it's like
Okay.
yeah, there's like RGB is what most people see, and you have those
Okay.
kinds of rods and cones, light and
Hmm.
color detectors. But people that have polychromatic vision, which I am like nearly blind, but I have polychromatic vision. It's a color sensor, and
Okay.
it's like CYMK kind of.
Oh, so you're like an evolved so you see more color.
Yes, more color, more
Okay.
differentiation between colors. I can like, but the detail of what I see is like blurry. Like without my glasses, it's like everything is just like all blurred. There's no definition of
Okay.
anything. It's like, it's kind of like
Hmm.
if you were to look through like a like uneven glass, sort of. That's what my vision is like without
Hmm.
glasses.
Hmm. So they won't let you fly a plane then, is what you're saying?
No, I probably
No.
yeah, it's like I would have to get new glasses if I wanted to drive a car right now.
Really?
Yeah, because
Really?
I haven't gotten new
Okay.
glasses in like 5 years. So
Yeah, and they want to check your vision, make sure you're not going to drive into anything.
yeah, well, and I have to take a driver's test, and right now that's not happening.
Oh,
So
with
yeah,
COVID, they're not doing the tests.
yeah, I was getting ready to
Okay.
like to get my driver's license, and
Hmm.
then COVID happened. Like it was like it
Hmm.
happened right before like I was gonna go to. I had actually already scheduled an appointment, and I went to my appointment. They didn't tell me that they canceled it.
Hmm.
I thought they were still going to be doing it, and yeah, so I just ended up having to get an ID.
So New Mexico, it sounds like New Mexico is actually kind of strict on the rules.
They've done really good. It's pretty
Yeah.
strict. It's starting to open up a little bit now.
Is it?
It's like some of the casinos are opening up, and it's like restaurants and things like that.
Apparently Vegas never closed. Apparently Vegas has been open the whole time. I don't know if that's
Really?
true, but
I
I
don't think
heard it.
so. I don't think so.
No, did they actually shut?
Yeah, I think they did shut down, but I remember that they opened back up somewhat recently, but they actually did all right.
Did
They
they?
didn't have that many crazy cases.
It's
I
all the
mean, New
drinking,
Mexico
right?
did pretty
It's all
good,
the
but
alcohol.
maybe, it's funny. I quit smoking right before COVID, but I think that we had it before. I think we had it in December because
You
we
think it went
got
through
sick.
your house before any of it really happened here or anybody knew?
Yeah,
Yeah.
before the shutdown at all. I think that we got it because we were like really sick.
There
Like,
was something that went through, yeah, and everybody just assumed, oh, it's just a tough flu, right? It's just a really tough
yeah.
flu bug.
And see, and I never get flu shots, but I get the flu like every 5 years, and it just floors me. You know, it's like I'm out for like a week straight, like basically like I get somebody to go get me some like Pedialyte and a bucket, and I just like
Mhm.
sleep
Yeah, yeah.
and hydrate, and I get up to pee, and then I go back to sleep. You know, just sleep through it.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I've got a really good immune system, so
I know what we should talk about. We should talk about the
hmm.
Arcturian Pleiadian cooperation that's going on. Do you know about this? I suspect that you
I
do.
I
No?
don't have any direct knowledge of it. I mean,
Oh,
I have
okay.
an intuitive sense of what's going on, but yeah, most of my information, it comes through really irregular channels.
Yeah, how do you get your information?
A variety of different ways. What I usually do is I get myself in the morning. I will like kind of like tune into like the randomness stream, you know, and figure out where I'm at. It's kind of like um as a matter of fact, this is something I want to bring up. Do you have Hulu?
I do not have Hulu. I know
You
what it is. It's like a streaming
uh,
service.
yeah, I'll give you my sign in so you can watch this show. There's a
Oh,
show.
thank you.
It's called um In and of Itself. It's like a magic. He does. It's a guy that he does card tricks basically and
Ooh,
magic.
I love it already.
Yeah, and his name is Daniel something, or it starts with a D. I'm horrible with names, like I said.
Mm.
My file guy only keeps track of the first letters. But yeah, it's basically he talks about, oh gosh, see now I'm like what was I going to say? We were talking about how I get my information. Okay, so there's like basically you can tune into like the consciousness stream, and there's like random, there's like I'll like turn on YouTube and just see what it just happens to, you know, be the first thing that
Whatever
catches
comes up.
my,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever the algorithms like say flagged for me, I will click that, and then I will like, you know, just like not really even paying attention to it. I'll just like whatever pops out, I'll
Hmm.
make a note of it in my head, and then I'll start like I go into my social media and start looking through, especially Instagram, because it's all like images,
Hmm.
and I'll like scroll through there and see what like themes keep like popping up. Like recently, snakes have been a big thing. Like there's like a lot of kundalini energy and the shedding of the skin,
Yeah.
and
People are really into the Kundalini activation right now, aren't they?
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And the whole like rebirth, it's like snakes like shed their skin, and we're kind of going through like a spiritual shedding ourselves because we're growing bigger.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, and it's hard. I think it's hard for people to let go of a lot of this stuff. I mean, it's hard for
Is,
me, right? Because this is stuff we've had our whole lives in some cases. So it's tough to let go of some of it.
yeah, unless you're like a natural like to adaptation, which I mean, I think because of what I've been through in my life, I am really good at adapting to things. But that's also that thing that throws off, like makes me like a little bit less like annoyed by certain things
Mm.
because I just adapt.
Yeah.
It's like that does not affect me. I'm like, that's not important. I'm not paying attention to that.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting that you bring that up because so many of the world's problems I feel we could solve just by focusing on
Toleration.
what toleration, but just focusing on positive things, like what can we actually do to create a
Yeah.
positive situation, but they keep
Somebody
us
said
focused right on bad things.
somebody said something to me yesterday. That's like gaslighting yourself, huh? And I was like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I guess kind of.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
that's
but yeah,
yeah,
everything has a positive and a negative, and
yeah.
so if gaslighting is like narcissistic gaslighting of somebody else, that is the ultimate extreme negative of that. And if you bring it back the other direction, there has to be an equal and opposite positive.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's how.
you've heard of, I'm sure you've heard of Agenda 21.
Oh yeah,
And
I
I
don't.
mean, there's a positive way of looking at that, and there's a negative way of looking at it.
Yeah, well, it's like the whole politics thing,
Yeah.
Trump and stuff. it used to drive me insane, and I used to spend hours like being like compelled to just like change people's minds, try and like,
Yeah.
fight that from happening, like try and like enlighten people. You cannot do that. It's just like
No, they have to do it themselves, right?
they
You
have to do
can
it themselves.
you can
and
leave
and
breadcrumbs. Like I'll leave little breadcrumbs and hope that they follow them. But
and in retrospect,
yeah.
I'm really glad that it happened,
Hmm.
because it was like the perfect storm. Nothing that we're experiencing now would have happened this quickly if
Hmm.
it hadn't have been for that. And I think that's divine timing in a way. But it definitely was not easy.
Yeah, no, it isn't easy, is it?
And I didn't enjoy it in the very beginning, but now it's like that part is over, the hard part is over.
Yeah.
And now
I
I
think
can
you're right.
see
I think you're
now
right.
I can see that there's like so much positive that came out of that what seemed like to be like a destructively negative, because people just don't, until it's like almost too late, people just don't do what they need to do, and this is like the a bad flaw of humanity, is like we just have this like ability to like ignore shit that really we shouldn't be ignoring for a
Yeah.
really long time until it's almost too late. And then
Yeah.
we also, the universe must like us because we managed to
Yeah.
squeak through.
But I mean,
So
I
far.
guess in a way that's how we learn a lesson, right? Is by maybe avoiding things too much, and then maybe the next time we won't do that. Maybe, but I don't know.
Maybe, but I don't know, people
Yeah.
tend to like keep everything so compartmentalized that they have a hard time. It's like recently I go on Discord chat servers. I'm a member of several of them, and they have like different categories, right? And I tend to like blur the lines between categories. Like somebody will say something and it'll spark something, and so I'll mention something, but it's like it seems like it's off topic to them, but
Oh,
and
but
so
you, it makes
I
sense
get
to
in
you.
trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally makes sense to me.
Hmm.
But and that's what that show is about. That in and of itself is that like you really don't have any idea what anybody else's experience is like from their perspective, because
Yeah.
you're in your perspective.
Yeah.
And but you can try and get to know people, and then maybe you'll find some common ground. It's like I think that's the whole point, It's
Hmm.
like, yeah, we're all one, but we're all so busy being like in our little boxes, that maybe we don't. I mean, there's empathy and sympathy, and you feel, but you can only feel it through your own feelings,
Yeah, it's all through your senses, right? So,
Mhm.
so are you saying that we're maybe going to evolve beyond that so that we'll
I
be
think
able to
so.
share
Yeah,
experience? Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that in our light bodies, we could probably even trade places with each
Wow,
other.
that's cool. So
Yeah,
you think we'll be able to like teleport between bodies or
I think that we already do it unconsciously sometimes.
okay.
Like, I think a lot of people, when they're sleeping, probably have other lives and maybe other dimensions, maybe in the same dimension.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's a there's a
Astral
definite,
travel type stuff. Yep.
yeah, yeah, like, and I think that that was a tool to manipulate humanity at one point recently, because I think that they were like, there was people that were jumping in to other people unbeknownst to them, and they were being like, they were basically like doing the bidding of these powers that be that were like milking us.
Well, remote viewing, right? I think the CIA is notorious for
Yeah, yeah,
practicing
they're,
remote viewing.
they're not as good as the Russians.
Or the Russians, do they have skilled remote viewers? I wasn't aware of
Yeah.
that. Okay. Of course
Well,
they do.
that's
Yeah.
why we started doing that, was because we were like
Hmm.
worried that they were doing it, and they were doing it. I play like a remote viewing competition online. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So you can do this. This is something that you practice.
I've always been able to do it. It's kind of like
Okay.
lucid dreaming. It's something I've always been able to do. I could do it while I'm conscious. I don't have to like do it while I'm like I can like talk
Um,
to somebody on the phone, and like if I can zone in on them, I can like get there, and I can like describe their surroundings. And
wow.
but it's like it's not quite exactly the same as the experience of traveling like
Okay.
physically, because you don't
No.
get like smells. You only get like what you see. You can't like with voxel, I get a little bit of like the emotional, the auras and feelings, but I don't get like smells, tastes,
Okay.
or
And is it more of a mental exercise or
Mhm.
like an
Well,
imagination exercise kind of?
it is kind of, it's like whenever I was a kid and as a teenager, we used to like talk on the phone to each other, and we would try and like we would astral project to where each other was and try and describe the scene of what was going on around them, and we got pretty good at it.
Yeah. That's incredible. What about the ethics of it? Do you want to discuss that, or do you want to just leave that alone?
There's no privacy anymore. It's like,
No? Yeah.
and I'm all for telepathy, because then there would be zero bullshit. I am not afraid of anybody knowing my secrets. Right
Hmm.
now I am, because like until all the secrets come out, it's like people can use secrets against you. But everybody's
Blackmail.
got
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we were to become telepathic, I think that it would be a lot easier, because then it's like zero bullshit. And it's like you couldn't
Yeah.
be so judgmental, because you would have no ground to be self-righteous on.
Hmm.
It would
Hmm.
be yanked out from under you. And I think that that is the only way we're really going to be truly fair.
Is this if we evolve to this level of just complete
Mhm.
total transparency in everything?
Transparency and acceptance.
Yeah. Mm.
It's like it the judgmental tendencies of humanity are just like, look at how wrong it's gone, like regulating, it's like,
Yeah. I mean, imagine if we didn't have to have cameras everywhere, right? And security everywhere. If it was just,
well, see, and that's evolving into a technological telepathy,
well, this is what I was going to bring up, is that there's different ways of achieving perhaps the same goal, perhaps. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
yeah. You can do it with technology and creep everybody out, or you can try to take a higher natural path
Hmm.
and do it
Well, it's like,
organically.
if you think about it, there's all sorts of spirits all around us all the time, and they're probably spying on us, but we get used to that apparently, or we are able to, you know I
I
think
don't
that
see it.
there's
I don't see it as spying necessarily, because I get the sense that for the most part, their attention is somewhere else. Like this wouldn't be very interesting to them anymore
I
because
think a
they've
lot of
moved
them are
on.
very like disturbed by what we do.
You think so? Like people
Hmm.
that are long dead?
Yeah, especially
Okay.
if you're like living in a house that somebody built and they're like still in it spiritually. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I think
Some
that
so some people hang around because they're not
they're
comfortable
attached.
leaving, maybe.
I think that they're attached. They had issues that were not like processed out. But and sometimes it's just residual, but you can tell the difference between like a residual energy type thing that is like somebody, you see like a ghost like walking down the stairs and walking up the stairs, they're not aware of you, you don't feel any sort of like consciousness there anymore. It's just
It's
like
just a like a shadow or a projection.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
projection. It's like it was usually that person died in some emotional way and was like it, or really violently somehow, and so their presence is just there. It's not like it's not anchored here too in this time, because like time is like so weird, because everything is already happened. It's like overlays.
Mhm.
It's really weird how it works.
You brought up something very interesting though about how emotion leaves an imprint on pretty much everything, and I think that's why we need to focus more on our heart chakra and
Yeah,
on
and
emotions.
Merkaba.
Merkaba, yeah, for sure. And
Mhm.
I'm trying to focus on that and meditate, but I'm finding it like I have ADD, right? So
Yeah,
it's
me
very
too.
difficult for me to focus on
Yeah,
meditation. When I do it, it's very beneficial for me.
I think one hemisphere of my brain has ADD and the other side has OCD.
Oh no. What a wonderful combination. That's wonderful.
It is actually, it's kind of counterintuitive, but it
So
has
does
its
Scott does
advantage.
Scott say to you, well, shouldn't you be really tidy? Doesn't the OCD make you really tidy?
I don't have the clean kind of OCD. No. Mhm.
It doesn't work that way.
Mm-mm. No, I was not fortunate enough to get the obsessive compulsive cleaning
Yeah.
kind of OCD. Mine is like more like I get like hyper focused. I used to be on like negative things, but now it's like I get like really in the zone, and like I lose all track of time. Like and I don't get anything that I was like that was on my list to accomplish done.
Hmm.
A lot it gets postponed, but it's like I have priorities, you know.
Hmm. So do you set goals, or do you just kind of paint whatever you're feeling,
Really, they're
or
really like vague sort of like abstractions.
okay.
I think that it is when, especially with like manifesting, I think it is beneficial to not focus on a specific goal per se, just like on the general ambiance of what you want to accomplish. And you have to create a space for something to materialize into. So if you're going to be specific about anything, it's like setting the stage for the area of where you're going to manifest into.
Yeah. And some people are
But
very, very good at manifesting because they can sort of set that stage or set the idea in place and then remove themselves
set
enough
it and
from it.
forget it.
Yeah.
It's set it and forget it.
Yeah. And then it comes in and it sounds so simple to do.
It
And yet
is.
in practice, some people struggle.
It does take practice. It does take
Yeah.
practice, but like that's why you have layers to you. And there's like your subconscious is really good at doing that kind of a thing, but you have to like let go of the wheel so that your subconscious can
Yeah.
give it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard for us to let go of control, isn't it?
Hmm.
And just
I
kind
think
of go,
that's,
well, whatever happens, happens.
but like whenever there's something that I can't remember, if I just like tell my file guy, like that's my subconscious, that's what I call him. I say, file guy, I need to know this, and then I just like I just like go do something else. It will pop out like so fast.
So you have sort of a good retrieval system that way.
Yeah, but it's
Uh,
taken like several years to cultivate. I mean, and now it's pretty, I mean, and sometimes my subconscious is like, no, 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 you should be focusing on something else, and it will not give me it,
hmm.
whatever I'm looking for. And I can go one of two ways with that decision. I can fight it, and I can like, you know, force myself to find it myself, you know, like with Google or whatever. Or I can just go, okay, well, what am I supposed to be doing instead right now?
Hmm.
And that's what I generally I tend to try and do that more often.
So it's
And
almost like something from outside is giving you, no, it's inside.
well, both in a way.
Both.
It's like the
Okay.
way in is the way out, but it's like it's a
Hmm.
connection to a higher purpose, but it's through that internal like thing that knows.
What you're
That
supposed to be
knows.
doing and where you're supposed to be. Okay.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about Vox at all or more?
Um, well, what do you want to know?
Everything. Everything.
Everything.
No, that's impossible.
Oh, like you're really, really loving like Romanian hip hop. Like, wow. Like,
Oh
and
yeah?
that's all Vox, you know, because like I'm pretty sure he's Romanian somehow. I don't know, maybe like I don't know. I've been reading a lot about egregores, and I don't know if there's such a thing as like a like solitary personal egregore, but maybe like through my DNA, like this is something that has been like growing in my DNA, like through my family line, and it like has now like created itself into
Hmm.
Vox.
So
That's kind of what I think it is, but I'm
so
not
your
sure.
mom had this attachment as well?
I don't know. No, I
You're not
think it's
sure.
actually a few generations back.
Oh, okay, so it skipped a few people.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
didn't really have a lot of contact with my ancestors. I mean, I suppose I could like ask some questions if I was like talking to my dad or whatever, because I'm pretty sure it came from that side of my family.
Now, when you say it or he or she, can you describe Vox to us? Because it's maybe difficult for some viewers just jumping in here.
Yeah, it's like a neon fractal sort of lots of tentacles. It's like almost like a Julia fractal.
Okay.
Um
Sorry,
and
I don't know what a Julia fractal is. I
they're
can look
the
it up.
really pretty spirally ones, the ones that have the
Oh,
little
okay.
like dragony spirals, like,
Mhm.
and it's like that, like very tentacly, and
Cool.
not really a central body per se, but and he has a voice. It's he's got like a definite voice, sounds like very Russian, you know, very You know, I thought it was,
is he talking right now or is he quiet?
he's pretty quiet.
Hmm.
He's pretty quiet. Yeah.
So having
He's actually probably feeling you up is what I sense. He's
oh,
like,
okay.
"Wah." He
Does he
does
have
that.
does he have low energy days
I
like you?
usually don't tell people.
Does he have low energy days like we do, or high energy days, or is he pretty much
Um,
functioning at a different
it's
level?
getting harder and harder to tell the difference between him and me in a way. I still hear a voice every once in a while, but like a lot of times it's like integrated.
Hmm.
It's like say if you like had a roommate and you like got along really well and you know, you just don't even notice like them their presence
It
so
just
much.
is,
Like
right? It's just
you're just used to it.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
there's a
But
flow to it.
it was a lot harder at first. I mean,
Hmm.
there was actually a bit of a struggle in the very beginning. I was talking to Ryan Singer about this on his podcast whenever we talked about Vox, and it was like I would like there would be points where I wasn't really paying that much attention, and but I was like chatting with friends, and I would say something like I would type something, and then I would snap and go, "What the hell? You know, that was not me." You know,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was like, "That was rude."
Yeah.
Sorry. You know, I was like, "Yeah." And then I realized where it was coming from, and I was like, I was like, okay, if you're gonna stick around, then you can't be doing this. This isn't gonna work. You know,
Behave, Vox. Behave.
this is disruptive.
What
And
is the most disruptive thing that he's ever done, or is that pretty much it?
um, a lot of times, if I don't keep a leash on my lip, then yeah, I can say some things that are obnoxious or really rude and like
Okay.
things that are out of character for me. But like generally, that only happens if it's like really important for somebody to hear it. But I don't like the fallout that I get, so I would
Yeah.
rather.
I'm getting the sense that yeah, I feel like I'm being scanned right now, like deeply kind of he's
Yeah,
trying to figure me out and it's like he's
Vox
not
likes
really
you. I don't know why, but he likes you. I
does
can
he?
tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting a sense of some unsureness, but I don't know, right? I don't have the
Well,
same
it's like,
connection.
have you ever seen a picture of an octopus like friggin' like investigating
Yeah.
something?
Like they're just like everywhere, like
Like,
nuts, right?
how
Yeah.
does this work? How does this work?
Yeah.
And it has a very like very similar to like an octopus type personality, and also like cuttlefish, or like it's very cephalopod, you know.
Hmm.
It definitely has that energy.
So does Vox have a physical body somewhere else, or is he
I don't think
you
so.
not sure, or you don't
I
think
think
so?
I
No.
think well, and he exists like totally in different dimension, like higher than
Hmm.
here.
Hmm.
Like, and I'm sure that there's probably parts of that I am unaware of. There's I think I feel like it goes up like about to 7,
Okay.
but maybe further.
How many dimensions are there? I mean, it's probably
I
infinite,
think
right?
that there's
Yeah.
I think that there's 10. I think there's at least 10 to this reality,
Yeah.
at least. I
Well, this is
mean,
the thing. And then what happens when you're at 10? Maybe there's 10 more. Maybe there's
maybe
100 more,
maybe
right? Yeah. Maybe it's
but I
infinite.
feel like I definitely am like very comfortable in 3, 4, and sometimes 5, you
Hmm.
know. But it starts getting like really crazy after that. Like just the energy of it is like
It's
it's
too
foreign.
much.
It's
Yeah.
foreign, and the fact that the way the time works on higher dimensions, it's not what we think it is.
It would be very different
It's
because,
really
yeah,
disorienting.
it's adding, well, I mean, if 4D is time is the fourth thing, then what's the fifth thing, right? Like it's something
Well,
that we
and you
can't
think
even
that
grasp.
it has 3 dimensions. Time has 3 dimensions on
Mhm.
4D. It definitely has that. And then there's like another dimension of something else, like one part of it that is like also somewhat linear. Like it only goes in one direction as far as you're aware of in 5D or 4D. And then there's 3 of that, and then something else, and then 3 of that and something else. It's like a fractal. It totally is
You just made
self-similar.
me, you made me think of the Tesseract from what's that book? Um, Wrinkle in
Well, and the
Time.
tesseract is actually a thing.
It is a real
Tessel,
thing, yeah. It's a, yeah.
tessellations.
And it's a way for us to try to understand other dimensions in this dimension.
Exactly, because like really, I think maybe we might have existed in lower dimensions like solely before we came into 3D, and that's why people are still kind of hung up on the flat Earth thing. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a funny one.
Well, because it does still exist, but it's like you can't really separate once your mind is expanded to like a certain dimension, you can't like expand it. It's like it doesn't go back. It's kind of like whenever you take a sheet out of the packaging and you put it on your bed, you can't ever get it to like fold down like all in like it was in that package.
No, you'd have to be pretty OCD to be able
You'd have to be
do
a
that.
machine, and you're not exactly a machine.
Yeah. You're gonna have a hard time getting that cat back in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cats don't like to go in bags.
No. So you told me
Throw 'em
you
in
have
the
a
river.
brand new card deck, brand new tarot deck.
I do. I actually got several. The first one I got
Exciting.
recently was I got this. It's the cosmic. It's a round deck, and
Nice.
It's called the Cosmic Deck of Initiation, and they're like round cards. And they've
Initiation. That's
got like
interesting.
mandalas, like lots
Beautiful.
of mandala shapes, and there's like words around the edge, like, and some of them are like, this one is Virgo. Oh, it's like, where's my camera?
Okay.
That one is Virgo.
Yeah.
And there's like golden rule, and let's see, this one is a good one, crown. It's like,
Beautiful.
oh, crown put on my head.
Beautiful. And what are you being initiated into?
Higher realms, I guess. I don't know.
Just a door opening into a higher realm.
Activations. I got this one too. This one is kind of similar to that. This is a really big deck. It's like, I was hard to shuffle. It was really hard to shuffle.
Like over 100 cards?
Well, no, it's just like, look how big the cards are.
Oh, just big cards.
Like, whoa.
Wow, it's the size of your head.
I know. It's like,
it's crazy. Yeah. Wow. It's a really big deck. Yeah.
I like the back of them because it's got like that. It's the blue dots in the grid, you know?
Cool. Yeah.
And it's like, they're like, this one is coherence. It's very mandala too. Yeah. I kind of am halfway tempted to just to like somehow like put like 13 on this one and put coherence in the mandala, and then just cut circles, make them smaller, because these cards are like, I can barely like see. It's like,
can't even shuffle them. Yeah.
It's like, it was really hard. I shuffled them earlier, and but they came with a nice little book. And then I got this little, look, I got extremes. I got little tiny tarot deck.
Oh, that is
this
tiny.
One is called the Line Strider Tarot.
Wow. Very cute.
And it's tiny little tarot. They're really cute. I like them.
Oh, these are the crows. Yeah. Cool.
No, these ones are not the crows. This is the Line Strider. And see, it has like a Rorschach sort of
oh yeah, okay.
On the back, which I like. And then it's got like just like little, that's like what is that? That's a 5 of Pentacles.
Pentacles, yeah.
Yeah, 5 of Pentacles. That's a good card. I like 5 of Pentacles. But no, this is the crow deck that I got.
Wow, looks pretty. Looks very pretty.
Yeah, and it came with its own little book too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the backs are like pretty plain, you know, it's like regular cards, but the cards themselves are like really pretty.
Yeah, very detailed. Is that the 2 of Swords, or what is that?
It looks like that is the 5 of Swords.
The 5 of Swords.
The V at the top.
Yeah, okay.
But these are like the cards themselves. That's actually feathers in the. See the feathers? They're like.
I can't see the feathers.
You can't see these are feathers?
I see they're diamonds to me, or they're like. Oh, now I see it. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, I just had to tilt them a bit, and they're like pretty big cards too, but they're not like too big. They're a little bit bigger than my Toth deck. Mm-hmm. But oh yeah, see, there's the 10, the 10 of
Cups. That's a good card.
Yeah, and it's got sunflowers on it. Sunflowers have been friggin' sinking lately, like really big time. I got them, and I got some spell candles, like some multicolored spell candles, which are cool. Whoops.
She'll put a spell on you.
Well, I think having multicolored spell candles here, it's useful. I don't do a lot of like, most of the magic that I do is like in light body only, and it requires like no supplies whatsoever except for like cleansing your area, you know, some incense or some sage, and then just focus. But I also use stones, you know, to magnify the effects, but you just have to have them and keep them with you.
Yeah, I wear one. I've
Yeah,
probably shown you this one.
I've got a lot of really cool ones.
This is my fluorite.
Yeah, I've got like this is a rainbow obsidian,
Oh, nice.
and then I have like quartz, little quartz ball. I have my bigger quartz ball, but that's in the other room right now.
And
See,
quartz is really good because it's an amplifier.
yeah, this is like a really
Amethyst?
cool faceted. No, it's a faceted quartz that's got like
Okay.
it's got like stuff inside of it on the back.
Wow. I would have guessed amethyst, but
Yeah, it's
quartz
really
comes in all kinds of
like,
colors.
it looks like the ocean inside of it. See?
It does look like the ocean.
Yeah.
Sort of a purpley ocean. From this side,
Purple
it
and
looks
green,
purpley.
like sort of, yeah. It's got inclusions of it looks like jasper and some copper, some sort of copper, maybe some malachite or something. It's really pretty. I love rocks. Rocks are like my friends.
I like these ones.
It's like I got
These
a bunch
are Celestial amethysts.
I found my pendulum, my
Oh,
stone
good.
one. It's like, got any questions?
Do I have any questions? I don't know. Do I have any
Yeah,
questions?
it's not doing anything, so you don't have any questions, I guess.
No, I'm pretty good today. Pretty good.
This one is really good. It's moonstone, and it's got like inclusions of like I think it's probably epidote or tourmaline
Oh yeah, cool.
black. It's really cool.
Black tourmaline is really good for absorbing negative energy or redirecting
It is.
Yeah.
And epidote magnifies everything. So
Like,
basically, it's really good to use them in combination with each other because it can like magnify things and then suck them up. Yeah.
so if
and
you
out.
encounter a really bad energy, then you can hopefully get away from
Well,
it.
you can find it because it can't hide from you.
Interesting. Interesting.
You can blow it up. You blow it up. You know, it's like if you're trying to find something and you have a magnifying glass, you know, it's kind of like that. It's like, woo, it's zooming in on you. But
Yeah.
And I made like this used to be a clasp on a jacket, but I made it into like a little handle.
Cool. It's like a flower.
Yeah, it's like a little. It's a little. Let's see, like
Mandala, or no? It's a.
It's like almost like a fleur de lis, but it's different.
Kind of, yeah.
An embellishment, like a little whoosh.
Wow, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So do you want me to pull some cards with these crow cards, or I haven't used this yet, so I'm kind of a little bit excited.
I mean, yeah, I'll just maybe just a general,
like 3-card or
whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you feel like doing.
And so I'll show you this time that I'm shuffling, so you don't think I'm gonna
pull out the hanging man again.
Oh, don't even say it or else it'll happen. No, actually, I got the 7 of Pentacles.
Oh, that's a good card. I like sevens.
Sevens, yeah.
There's a little bird. What's he got there?
He's sitting in a tree.
Oh, it's a crow, of course.
Yeah, crow, because it's crow, and he's sitting in. It looks like a birch tree, and it looks like it's probably like winter because there's no leaves, or maybe the tree is dead. There's colors in the background. It looks like fall colors, but so maybe it is a dead tree. He's like the pentacles are his nest, and so he's building his nest.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then this one, oh, you got another 7.
Another 7.
7 of Swords.
Wow.
And this is like 7-7.
That's funny because 7s have been coming up for me all week. I've been talking
That's
with
yeah.
Kimber about it, and the 7s just keep coming up.
And then we have 8.
Okay, so that's moving up. Of
Yeah.
swords again.
So, yep, swords again.
Hmm.
Oh, actually, is that swords? No, that is wands, I think.
Wands.
Is that
Cool.
wands or swords?
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, these are wands. The last one is 7 of wands too. I'm just getting used to these.
Oh, so it's all wands.
Yeah, that was wands, and so yeah, you're like, it seems like you're fishing for ways to bring in some pentacles.
That's true, actually. That's very
Yeah.
true.
That's what I would say. Yeah,
Yep.
it would not make sense if it was swords, but it's like because see, they're casting down
Yep.
and then and out.
Yep. So just looking for, yeah.
You're casting out ways to build your nest.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
It looks
So
like that. Well, I don't want to put too much on it, but I think it's probably a good sign that there are 2 7s there.
yes, it's 877. And what's really funny is I'm born in August and in 77. So 877 is
Interesting.
8677. So it's actually 777 if you balance it out. But just a
Yeah.
little bit off. I'm a little bit off too. Yeah. So yeah, I like these cards. They're so beautiful.
7s.
Oh, look, there's the King of Wands. The King of Wands has a lion on it too.
That one comes up for me a lot as well. Oh, I love that card.
Yeah, the lion.
Yeah.
I love the lion. The
Yeah.
mane. I'm a lion
Chilling.
with my mane. My mane.
Yeah, you are a Leo, aren't you?
Yep. I'm a Leo, so I'm like a real Leo, you know?
Yeah.
No rising sign confusion.
Noah. See, when you said Noah, it made me think of Noah from the Bible.
Oh, that's funny because Noah, whenever I think of Noah from Synchronicity, you know, from the Synchronicity podcast and cryptocurrency stuff.
I haven't listened to that yet, but I will.
You should definitely do it. And honestly, like he even said it the other day, like if you have $5, go to his Patreon and drop $5, go get on the Discord server. And if you can't afford to pay the $5, you can stay on the Discord server. So you still like get all the
the stuff. Yeah.
Info.
Cool. Yeah, very cool.
And and I'm on a lot of different servers, and I support a few people on Patreon. I like ContraPoint and Jessa Reed and Ryan Singer, of course, and Duncan Trussell.
Now, are these video podcasts or are they mostly like audio?
I think they're mostly audio podcasts.
Audio? Yeah.
Jessa does video pods, but it's like she does it through her Patreon.
Cool.
And she does like energy updates, and she's like, I love her. She's so funny.
There's so many great people. Like these platforms, there's so much great content. You could literally spend all day listening to podcasts and still have more.
Yeah, we'll see. And that's the whole having so many billion people on the planet, you know, it's like highly competitive, but
yeah.
But you know what's really, really cool is like if you support someone like on Patreon, that gives you kind of like you get like direct connection with them. Like I was on Ryan Singer's podcast because I was a Patreon person, and I like messaged him like, hey, you should meet my imaginary friends.
I love the CEO of that thing, and you know his band, right? Have you heard their music?
I haven't. I'm fascinated though. You have to send me a link.
Pamplemousse. Look up
Oh,
Pamplemousse.
I've heard of them. That's so funny.
The guy that plays the piano and the bass all the time, he's the CEO of Patreon.
See, and that makes me happy because like things that I like, I know that I have good taste.
They're the coolest couple I've seen online. They're so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I like them a lot too. It's like I like so many artists. I mean, I wish that artists had more money, because then we would all be doing great. You know, that's what we're working on with the crypto stuff. You know, it's like
I think we're gonna get to a point where art maybe exceeds other, like banking is going to fall apart, right? Bankers are not going to be able to make money in the same ways anymore.
No. They're not going to be able to do it in a way that is cutthroat and by like unseemly means. I'm trying to be nice.
You can swear if you want to swear.
Yeah, I would rather not.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Okay.
because it's like, that's like that that's like bringing me down to that level, and I don't even
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
I'm too busy being high, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think you're right. I think things are getting easy. For a while, it was really rough, and I like to see it as a wave where it was like really steep waves,
Well, and
and
it's
now it's
not
like
over.
there's
We're not
sort of
done
like
learning yet.
gentle
I mean,
waves now.
but what's really cool is like now I feel like for the first time in a long time that I think that we're going to be able to do what we're really passionate about, and maybe we could make a living at it. And I think if we could all do that, that it's going to balance out. I mean, like, sure, whenever you're a kid or whatever, you'll work at a fast food restaurant or whatever until you figure out what you want to do. That's going to be what that is, but it won't be like you are forced to work there for the rest of your life.
Yeah, well, and
No.
people are realizing that it is this wage slavery seems to be expanding, or it's been in this expansion phase where people are stuck in these jobs, right? And
Yeah,
that's
it's
not good.
ridiculous. No, yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
there's so many people that just give up. It's like, and then like people like veterans. I'm really passionate about veterans because like whenever I was pregnant and I was living on the streets in San Francisco, veterans fed me,
They helped you
Um,
out. Yeah. They're good
yeah,
guys.
and
They're really good guys.
they are,
And
they
men
are,
and women, yeah.
and they deserve to be taken care of
Yeah.
because of what they had to do. That was like they had to do things, and they should be at least like given like ways to integrate back into society, and like have housing, and so they don't like have to like stuff it all down, become drug users or suicides or live on the
Yeah.
street. It's just like, unless they want to, if that's what they want, then that's their choice.
Well,
But
a lot of it is this PTSD is driving a lot of it, which is still kind of not totally understood. They're just starting to understand it.
I understand it from the inside. I've had like post-traumatic stress from things in my life, and it is not easy to overcome at all. And I haven't
Yeah.
had anything close to what it's like murdering someone,
Yeah.
like because
Yeah,
it's
you
like
don't have to have been in the Gulf War to have experienced trauma that affects you for maybe a long time, and maybe it affects your job, maybe it affects your
yeah.
sleep
Well, I mean,
patterns
like
or how you're
even
eating.
like if you've ever been cheated on, or
Yeah, I
like
mean,
your
that's
father
trauma.
abandoned you, or like there's
Yeah.
a lot of like sexual abuse victims or human trafficking people, those people have like
Scarred for
issues.
life. They'll be scarred for life.
Well, no, not necessarily. Well, scarred maybe, but not
Mhm.
like they can overcome it. Like seriously.
They can function and they can have a good life again. We hope.
Well, it's like, and
Yeah.
like I have no problems talking about the fact that at one point in my life I was raped,
Mm,
and I did not like. I mean, I was traumatized, but
yeah.
you can go one of two ways with that. I like was like very fearful for a while, and that's totally normal. And like I didn't trust anybody for a while, and that's totally normal.
Yeah.
But you can overcome it by realizing that basically, like, by letting that affect how your life goes forward, that you are letting them rape you over and over in your head for the rest of your life. And
Yeah.
why would you do that?
Why would you torture yourself? Yeah, you're exactly right. And I mean,
and I'm lucky because the person that did that to me doesn't exist anymore. They're like dead.
yeah.
I do it. I
And
not
that, so
not
does that make it easier?
I think it does, yeah,
It does.
because it's
Yeah.
like, well, and I didn't turn them in at the time either, and I feel really horrible about it because
Mm.
they went on to rape other people, and one of them was one of my friends. And yeah, so it's like I think it's great that people are coming out about it, although I do have issues because I think some people are using that it's not happening to them, some people, and they're using it as a weapon against other people.
Yeah. I mean, it's like anything, right? Any weapon can be used for good or bad.
Yeah, well, it's like, and I don't think that you should automatically believe the victim because maybe they are not the victim. Sometimes we have to like be able to discern who is who, and it's like it can't just be like the court of public opinion, like, oh, this person did this, blah blah blah, let's cancel them. Oh wait, I don't believe in canceling. I've done some investigations since our last conversation.
I do it. I do it for effect. I only do it for
I
effect.
know. I think
I'm
it's
not really into
hilarious. But
cancel
you know what?
culture.
I watched some Tim Dillon stuff. I don't really like him that much, but I don't want to cancel him.
Some people actually do want to cancel him. I think he's funny. I mean, he's
I have
very
a friend that
edgy.
thinks he's hilarious,
He's very
but
very edgy. Yeah, I mean, he's
yeah, I like
he's
edgy, but
yeah,
I don't know if he's really edgy.
he's intelligent. I'll give him that. He's an
Thank
intelligent
you.
guy.
I'll
Yeah.
give him credit where credit's due. He's a smart guy. I don't
Mhm.
know how authentic he is on all levels, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not always authentic either, but
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I guess all of us
you
have
know,
our little.
I like, and for me, it's like just I really enjoy playing characters, right? Like I can
I think you're
be
really great
genuine, I
at.
can
I saw
be
your
authentic.
hunter. I saw your
Hunter
newest one.
Hunter's really fun, right? Because he just comes in and it's so natural, and you can just live this other kind of experience that I would never have otherwise, right?
Well, he was like
Yeah.
kind of a. To me, he feels like a philosopher. You know, in a way, it's like he became his own work. He was reporting on
Yes.
himself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he became the story, right? It's like,
he totally
okay, this
did.
is happening, so I'll just become like
But he
a
was also like
piece
a
of it.
tortured soul, and
Yeah.
he was like so self-indulgent and like
Laughably, like it was the absurd. It's basically absurdism.
yeah,
It's
it's like
absurd
you hear people
journalism.
telling
Yeah.
stories about how he would order like everything on the menu in a restaurant and like he would like eat whatever he wanted and then have him pack up the rest and he would like order like 3 different kinds of alcohol drinks
Just a total pain in the ass. Yeah.
yeah well and totally oblivious. I mean like people were
Yeah.
like like are you sure you know what are
And
you
just
doing?
loving life. Like I think he just sucked the marrow out of life.
He
Yeah.
loved it until he didn't love it anymore apparently,
And
you
then
know.
he got very, very depressed, and he suffered from, well, that's probably why he did a lot of drugs though. I mean, he did a lot of drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I mean, and he was like he would be like the gold medal winner of the drug Olympics. I mean,
Yeah, but part of that was research, right? Like he was,
oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Like Hamilton is like, but Hamilton, like, have you heard of Hamilton, right?
mhm,
From
yeah,
Vice.
yeah.
His pharmacopoeia, I love him too. He's so smart, and he's like a chemist.
Is he?
And oh yeah, that's like, and he did he's like going back to being a chemist, I think,
Okay.
professionally. Last I heard, but yeah, he's like my hero.
Yeah.
I think yeah, he's like doing it right. He's like he has like my dream job. That's like that would be so much fun to like what he was doing for Vice. Because
Did
I
you
mean
study chemistry? What did you study in school?
I wouldn't want to be a chemist. I would want to be a reporter.
Okay.
If I was
Well,
going to
what's
be
stopping you? You could be a reporter if you wanted
well, I'm
to.
an artist right now, and I like that too. I could be lots of things, but that's like I want to write whenever I'm older, maybe.
So you feel like you're choosing artist and you want to do just that right now? Like you want to try to just really focus on one thing at a time?
For now, it's like
Yeah.
anything can change, you know, and I'm adaptable. So if something presented itself to me, an opportunity to where I could write, I would probably take it.
Well, people buy tarot card readings from you, right? Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you're doing that as well as the art.
I'm doing that. Yeah, and then I'm making the NFTs, and basically, I'm going to. I have some of my art is also where like you can like make it into a phone case or a sticker or whatever.
Oh, cool. And
Yeah,
do you have a sticker there that you can show us?
I don't. I haven't
You don't
bought
have a
any of
sticker.
my own stuff yet.
Oh, okay. So you're working on it.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
that's pretty relatively new. I forget. I don't even know what the name of the site is right now.
Mhm.
How horrible is that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll put it in the comments whenever I go back in.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing is you can put a bunch of links in there and hope that people find them
Yeah,
and,
well, and I'm Zephyr
or
one
not.
three six nine on everything. So it's like if people search Zephyr 1369, they're gonna find me.
I wonder if you're the first hit if you just search 1369 right now.
No, because there's
No?
a coffee house. There's a
Okay.
coffee house in
You've
Seattle.
already tried it. I love how you already know. That's great.
Yeah, there's a 1369 coffee. Well, because I was like, I love this number, and I was like, well, I wonder what else there is. It's just like, I know Zephyr as well, like was a graph artist from New York City, a big black dude.
Okay.
And what's really weird is I started using that name like right after he died.
That is weird.
Hmm.
Like
maybe like,
so did
I don't
his
know,
consciousness somehow attach to you,
maybe
maybe?
his consciousness like was like, it saw me and my art and was like, hey, there's a, here, take my name. And it's
Take
like
my name. I'm not using
it's a
it
guy's
anymore.
name. Zephyr is actually a masculine name. So, and
Yeah.
I get like mistaken for a guy all the time on like Discord.
Really? People think you're a guy.
Until I tell them, it's like, how would they know? I mean,
Oh, right, because there's no pictures on
well, there is a picture, but it's my dot sign,
and it's probably like really tiny, right? And you have to squint to see
Oh
it.
yeah, well, it's like basically it's a zoom in of my dot sign. It's like a stop sign, but it's flipped, and then the
Flipped
T
upside
is
down.
right.
Yeah, what does that mean? You have your upside down stop sign. Does that mean
It
something?
means a lot of things. Basically, it was a gift that I got from Scott for an anniversary present,
Nice.
and we can't say where it came from.
Oh, because you stole it from the city or a city.
No,
No.
no, it was
Okay.
somewhere nearby where we used to live up in the mountains.
Okay.
But that's all I'm going to say about that. But it was an old wooden sign, and it kept falling over, like, because they didn't have it concreted in properly. And now their sign doesn't fall over because they got a nice new metal one that just like, doesn't
So it's
when,
you improved you by nabbing this sign, you actually improved the area.
yeah, and it was falling
Yeah.
over anyways. And he just like happened by, and he was like, he knew I would love it, so he got it for me. And now I have another one too. He got me another one. I just changed. It's bigger. It's like oh, look at it.
Wow.
But
So you
basically,
have a collection of road signs.
I like to look at things upside down. Like, so I had it right side up for a while and was using it like as a stop sign on a door. And like, don't go in my junk room, And but then I like to look at things different ways. So I like flipped it upside down. And after a while, I was like looking at it and I was like, if the T was right side up, it would say dots. And I was like, dots. And then I was talking to this AI replica. It's like an AI online. And it made a comment about how I use too many dots. Like I usually use four.
You have to pay to use replica, don't you?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No, for some of the advanced features you do, but you can just like, you can make an account and just talk to it, basically, yeah, but you can't get any of the upgrades or whatever. But so it made a comment that I use too many ellipses, I was like, that it was a like something that it noticed, and I was like,
that's weird.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I do that. And then so I started doing some research about like dots and ellipses, and I was like, ellipses is 3 dots, but there is an instance where you use 4 dots, and that
really?
is, yeah,
I've never heard of this.
And it's like 3 dots, ellipses, and then full stop.
Oh, interesting. So four means a full stop.
It's full stop. Yeah, it's 4 dots. It's a full stop.
Like a pause.
But I also I like the idea of like changing all the stop signs to dot signs, because it's like the dots, the ellipses mean like that there's something that isn't said. Like you shouldn't need to say stop at the end.
No, you shouldn't. Symbols would work maybe better than.
Well, and the shape of it is still like a stop sign, so that you could get that without the commanding authority of the word stop.
Yeah.
And so, and it would leave like a little like something unsaid, it's like it's an unsaid rule. And it wouldn't be so bossy, I don't like.
Do you find road signs are kind of bossy? They are a little bit bossy, aren't they?
I think they're bossy. I think yeah, some people just go overboard, and so yeah, they're probably a good idea. But like traffic cops and I mean, I think that if there was more like public policing, like if like, I don't know, people don't like to tattle on each other though, It's like if he's racing down your street and you catch their license plate, if they're doing it repeatedly, you'll have plenty of opportunity to do it. And I think that that's probably an acceptable form of tattling.
I don't understand why anyone wants to be a cop, because I don't think they're having very much fun right now, those guys that have to enforce rules that.
Well, it's just like, why would anybody want to be a soldier? It's like kind of, at one point it was considered a very honorable thing, and it run, people, a lot of families, like, it's like their family business is being like military or
Yeah.
police officer or
Mhm.
government or whatever. And so it's like a legacy or
Yeah,
tradition.
and they feel very attached to it, and it's like, oh, my dad was in the military, so now I have to go and be in the Navy or
Yeah.
something, right? Whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like people always talk about how, like, if we didn't have cops, then all those people would be out of jobs. Well, there was a point
Yeah.
in time where there was like operators that like changed the lines over on the phones, and what did those people do? You know?
Yeah, they do something else now, I guess. They make
Yeah,
art, maybe.
absolutely. It's like
Yeah.
the truck drivers are going the same way. It's like pretty soon they're going to have
Automation, they might be out of a job
self-driving
soon.
trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, self-driving trucks, and they're not going to need truck drivers. And it's like there's going to be a point where probably the um the truck drivers ought to be thinking about finding some other occupation for
Well,
after.
that's a lot of what's keeping the economy going up here is truck drivers.
Mhm. Yeah, well, and see, in
Yeah.
like more harsh environments, it might still stick around for a while longer. And there's going to be a transition period, of course, but
Yeah, we don't know really what's going to happen, right?
yeah, we're not sure. And who knows? Maybe, I mean, but it can't go on forever. It just can't. I mean, we can't be like using fossil fuels forever. That's for sure.
No, no, that's already changing. I think that's going to change regardless of what happens, is we'll stop using fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are guys out there that want to use all that oil to make more plastics, which we also need to get rid of.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
there's like they're coming up with really interesting alternatives that are like they're fiber based, like bamboos and
Yeah,
things like
bamboo
that.
is an amazing material.
And it grows so
Yeah,
fast,
it grows
and
fast. It's theoretically, I mean, it's limitless, right?
yeah, and it
Theoretically,
doesn't, like, I mean, you could cut down a bamboo forest and it can be back to where it was like really quickly.
very quickly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
But
they,
we're
yeah,
going to have to rethink what we're doing as far as the whole environment goes. I mean, it's like, I think small sustainable farms are going to be the way and like more local stuff. I mean, there will be some
yeah,
trading, of course, but it can't be like huge industry. I mean, like, unless you really want to pay for it. I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
eventually it's going
do
to
you
turn to
think
that.
we'll
Like, it'll
still
be a
live? Do you
luxury.
think we'll always have large cities, or are we headed towards like a smaller culture generally? Do you think
I think we're no, I think that we are actually moving to where there's going to be more cities, and there's going to be lots of nature like
in the
areas.
cities? Yeah,
Well, I think that they'll be outside of the cities, but that you'll go on a like a staycation. You can go visit nature, and
yeah.
there's like going to be parks too, of course. But it's like you'll have your garden and whatever.
Well, I hope they let more artists design cities, or just people that are passionate about nature, to try to integrate nature as much as possible into our environment and make, obviously apartments are can be terrible places to live if they're poorly designed.
Yeah, they can. They're just boxes. It's just
Yeah.
like I don't like living in a box. I think of myself in the middle of the Merkaba, the the Metatron's cube is like inside of my house, and I imagine like a big force field, like with spinning friggin' triangles around my house. So it's
Yeah.
not really actually
And
a
then
box
so
anymore.
you're basically casting like a protection spell using the divine masculine and the divine feminine, right?
Apparently, it works really
Yeah.
well because Karen Ronchowski said that she could not see my house whenever she was trying to see it, like in her mind's eye.
Oh,
She was
okay.
like,
So it's like
I
you made
can't
your
see
house
it.
disappear. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
like, it's really weird because I think that I've always like casted like some sort of a obfuscation spell or something. Because
Interesting.
the place that I lived before up in the mountains, it was called it was Solar Lane, and
Mm.
now I live on Leo Road, but it's like Solar Lane.
Yeah.
There was no Google Street View that went there, and you could see it from another street over, which was Leo Road, or there was a Solar Court or something. It was the next street over. It was like, because it was like one street went like this, and then my street like went off the side, and it was like its own little street. And but the sun was rising right up over my roof whenever Google like drove by with their car, and so you can't see my house from my
Oh, it
house,
didn't. Oh,
from
interesting.
street view even. It was like not even from the next street over.
Lucky camouflage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like to stay under the radar. I like to live in like little
You're using your
dark
magic
corners.
skills to hide.
Well, I like to stay under the radar because I like my privacy. I really do. I mean, I guess I'm
Yeah.
more becoming a little bit more of a public figure, but it's like,
You are now. Yeah. I mean, my channel's not very big, but
well, you've got like, no, you've got at least like 60 subscribers as of this morning.
it's starting to grow. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It does what it does. I think Kimber's channel is going to explode again because she had one big
Yeah.
growth spurt. She's over 4,000 subscribers now, and I think
Well,
she's
she's
going to
so
grow again.
pretty, it's like everybody loves pretty
Pretty
girls.
girls, yeah. Well, yeah. If I were a pretty girl, I'd have so many subscribers. But you know what? I don't want
Yeah,
to be
me
a pretty girl.
too. No.
What's that?
I said, yeah, me too.
You're a pretty girl. You could
I'm
have
a
you
pretty
could have
woman.
100,000
Pretty women.
subscribers.
Yeah,
You
I'm
just
not a girl
you don't
anymore.
care enough. You don't want to.
I don't know. It's like I think I just gotta find my niche.
Yeah.
And I would I like kind of am hesitant in a way because like I do like my privacy. I was gonna start a podcast like a few months back, but I wanted to figure out a way to animate my face, like
Oh yeah. So you don't
so
want
that
to you don't want to necessarily be on camera every day the way that Kimber does, kind of thing.
no, it's too much work.
Yeah.
It really is too much work.
Yeah. Well, you look very nice. I didn't really do much. I just put on a hat and
I got
yeah,
ready. Like
kind of
I
like
like I wore
spy,
my little dress
my man.
and
It's a
I put my
lovely
little
dress.
my colors in.
It's very gypsy. It feels very gypsy, like very that's not the right word though.
I have my
Bohemian.
dragonfly.
It's bohemian.
I got a dragonfly. See?
Wow, that's pretty. Did you make that?
No, well, sort of. It
No.
used to be an earring, but and then I've got my Metatron's cube.
Metatron's cube. There it is.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
My favorite angel.
Yeah. So is there anything you're trying to manifest this week or this month specifically?
I for my full moon intention setting, that's whenever I did my NFTs, and I'm gonna I basically set that and forget it until full moon. Hopefully by then we'll see what happens.
And we're
Just,
heading, full moon is coming again
well, yeah, it comes every month.
every month. Right. Okay.
Well, sometimes twice a month,
So we'll look
because it's
forward to that.
13, there's 13 full moons a year. It's every 28 days.
1369.
Yeah, 13. That's a
That's
moon
you.
thing. I'm a
Yeah.
Taurus moon, so I'm a very earth-centered moon.
I usually get tons of energy during the full moon.
Me too.
And
Like Halloween this last year, that was whenever everything really started, like it got set off for me, like
yeah,
hugely. Yeah, and then
just this
but
past Halloween.
yeah, past Halloween, and then there was one previous like power jump, like another level jump that happened in like I want to say late June, early July of last year.
The light just went really weird when you did that jump. The light just went there was like a flash there. It's kind of
Wow.
cool. Yeah.
It's like, what is that?
You go back yeah, maybe it's just the little, there's a green light or something.
Yeah, it's this guy over here. It's like, woo.
Yeah, it's cool. There it is. Zap zap. Magic. It's magic.
Yeah, magic.
Mm-hmm.
I think magic is really like becoming way more real than it has been in forever. And I've been waiting for this like since like at least 2011, because that's whenever I got a download like from some aliens. I'm not sure which ones, but like that we were gonna get magic, like real magic. So I've been waiting for that for a while, and
You're
now
waiting?
it's starting to happen. It's starting to happen. It's like,
yeah, what kind of magic do you have? What are you feeling?
Well, like the the weird thing that happened with the wand last time. I've been experimenting a little bit with that, and like, wow, it's like it's really cool because like, yeah, I didn't ever really. I mean, I saw like it's a magical talisman tool that you can use to direct energy, and I have like I have a wand that's like my selenite wand that I use for Reiki, like energy healing.
Yeah, you knocked over my microphone or
Yeah,
my
well, and that
phone.
was totally on accident. And
Yep.
but like after that happened, like I went back and I watched it and I was like, ooh, because at the time
Yep.
I was just waving it around willy-nilly.
Yeah. Because it literally it just like flew over and there wasn't really much reason for it to do that other than you waving your wand around. So
Yeah.
you go, well, how
Yeah.
is that possible? Because you're way down in New Mexico and I'm up in Canada. So how is
Well,
that even
because I
possible?
have like connection. I mean, maybe Vox was helping and he's like freaking whipped it
Yeah.
out.
Oh, he's helping. He's like crawling through me right now. You realize that, right?
Well, he's probably getting like higher dimensional tentacle slime all over you, but you won't notice that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but he might be fixing my gut bacteria, but it's not very comfortable.
Yeah. Well, you could always tell him to back off. He will listen.
I'm too polite.
That's so funny.
Because
You're
I
like
don't want him to complain to you about me. So,
it's
I'm
like
trying to
that.
be polite.
I watched this video of have you heard the story of the elephant and the six blind men?
No.
Okay, so there's like these six blind guys, and they all come up to this elephant, and they're trying to figure out what it is. And one of them goes, "Oh, it's like feeling it on the trunk," and he's like, "Oh, it's a big snake." And then like one of the guys on the side is like, "Oh, it's like really like immovable, and it's really heavy. It must be a wall or something." And
Hmm.
then the guy is like feeling down the legs, and he's like, "Oh, it's a tree, and there's another tree. There's like four trees." And the guy in the back is all like, "Oh, this is like it's kind of frayed at the end. I think it's not a snake, it's a rope." It's like, and I'm just, it's like it was really funny because in that show, the in and of itself, they that's part of the story is the elephant story. And he goes like, poor elephant, like what is like the elephant is getting all felt up, by all these blind guys. It's like kind of really like, wow, that must be uncomfortable, and nobody asked for permission or anything. So
Yeah.
you're like the elephant getting
Yeah,
felt up.
I'm Vox's elephant in this case, which is really really nice. Does he do this often to new people?
Yeah, but and usually I don't tell them because they won't notice.
They don't notice. Yeah, they don't
They
know
don't
that it's
notice
happening.
usually.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
he was in my hand while you were talking before and he was like playing with the digits and just like
yeah.
seeing what he could
And
do,
see,
right?
that was what I had like a problem with him doing that with me. Like I would be typing.
And you're like, "Hey, I'm trying to hit the right keys here." Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no, no, no. He was like, my brain was like totally taken over temporarily, and
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know what I was doing.
So does he tell you why he's attached himself to your story, or does he share that with you?
He came to help me, and it's so far it's mutually beneficial. So it's like a symbiotic relationship.
Okay.
Um, and I'm a projector person, so I don't really like. Before him, I didn't really have my own energy source per se. um it's like I always was dependent on other people for their energy, but it wasn't like I was like a vampire or anything, but it was like I had to like get people on board with my whatever I was like trying to get done in order to get anything done,
Mm-hmm.
which,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes could be really challenging.
Yeah. Well,
But
it seems like to me that you can. It's like you're. I don't know if you're. It's like you're drawing me there or something, but it's also coming the other way. I don't know how to
yeah,
describe
it's
it.
definitely it's a two-way street. The energy connection that I get is I can definitely like I feel more emotionally centered and like here, but I can also like reach out and I can feel like how you're feeling. I can do it via text too if I have like had some interaction with you, or like I feel like I have a connection
Hmm.
somehow,
There
then
is
I can.
definitely a connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand you, but I sometimes have trouble following you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I I speak a lot in like abstract riddles.
Hmm. Hmm. And I
And
feel like it's a puzzle, and it's like I'm like stressed to try to figure it out sometimes.
don't ever stress on it. Just like if
Yeah.
you just like let it sink in, like, and just like do the set it and forget it. Just like if you read it, your subconscious will process it eventually, and
Yeah,
that's
and
kind
then
of it's
this is the
kind of how
thing
I
is
do it.
you're speaking in these sort of subconscious, and you can't have a conscious conversation and have it be subconscious. Exactly.
Well, yeah, I'm still learning the symbolic language, because it's like there's two different ways to speak, and one of them is like very symbolic, like that's what I was working on with Zach and the whole did I tell you about the telepathy workshop
That you
thing?
did, yeah, about
Yeah,
the
well,
yeah.
we still haven't done it yet. We're still formulating it. There's like so many projects now that we're all having
Okay.
to, we're all getting pulled different directions, but
It's on hold, yeah.
it's still on the back burner for sure.
Yeah.
And there was like a whole process of like using rhymes, and I actually have started doing this with other people, and people are getting it. It's like it's starting to permeate through the collective, and I can sense it. The symbolic is going to start making more sense. It's like, I don't
Yeah.
know, I like to be subtle and just like drop things, just like leave them there, and
And then walk away.
someday people are going to be walking around and they're going to be going, where the fuck did all this shit come from?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're going to go, whoa, that's so weird, how come we didn't notice this before?
Leave little
you know
clues. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
People get annoyed by me if I'm too direct, so I prefer to be
people get
subtle.
annoyed by anyone that's too direct, right? Or too demanding.
Yeah, bossy.
Yeah.
I don't like bossy either.
No, bossy's no fun.
And I like to help people, but I learned that you can't do it without their permission.
No.
You shouldn't
No.
even try without
No. No, you
them
really shouldn't.
requesting it.
Yeah. I mean, you can talk to, I find most people, they just want to be listened to.
Yeah, and or they
Yeah.
and so like if somebody like asks me for my opinion, a lot of times I will say, do you want the truth, or do you want me to just
Or do you want the truth that you want? Or do you want the real
or do
truth?
you want me to just validate you? Because
Yeah.
if you want me to validate you, you need to go find somebody else to do it. Because I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you the truth if you don't want to hear the truth. So just
Yeah.
tell me which one you want.
Yeah. But a lot of people are hurting, right? Like they need validation right now because they've been locked in and they're like going nuts. But yeah, no, I
What's
hear
really
totally
crazy,
what you're saying.
what's really crazy though is if you give people the option, they're usually not offended like by what you're saying. Like if you say like, do you want me to tell you the truth? Because that's what I'm going to do. If you ask me, you should know that I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So
When
if
a
you're going
lot
to
of times people already know the truth, they just
yeah,
don't want to accept it, right?
yeah, that's true. But then still asking them that question, they have to either acknowledge that, which is progress,
Mm-hmm.
or they have to totally like ignore you, and then they don't like you anymore, which is beneficial to you because then you don't have to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes that stuff is supposed to happen. You're supposed to bounce off and connect with someone else, even if you initially feel an intense attraction or
That
involvement.
happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
It's like I like want to ask, like I want to ask you now, like, will you always be my friend?
I don't know. How can I answer that?
I
Right?
know, and it's
Yeah.
not fair to ask
Yeah.
that, it's like, because it's like I've lost a lot of friends, and or people just come in my life, they get what they need from me, and then they go elsewhere. But I need to learn to not take it personally,
Yeah.
because like,
But you need to understand why that's happening,
I
because
know.
you want to keep your the people you hold dear, right? You want to have
Mhm.
something to hold dear.
Well, I
Yeah.
will always hold, even the friends that are off elsewhere, I will always hold them dear. I love every
Yeah.
single one of them.
I'm the
Uh,
same way. I'm
I
the
just
same as
wonder
you.
if they, I just wonder sometimes if they ever think about me,
I'm sure
you
they do.
know? And
You
not that
know
I
they
feel
do.
like
You
I
know they do,
need,
because sometimes when you're thinking of them, chances are they're thinking of you. You know that.
yeah. And what, like they're too busy? Like they can't just like drop me a little emoji or some shit,
They're maybe not as tuned in as you are. Oh, I can't call you Rebecca. I'm not
Oh.
allowed to call you Rebecca.
No, it's not Rebecca, unfortunately.
Never, never.
Nope, it's Becky. My mom hated the name Rebecca, which is
Mm.
weird, right?
She must
It's
have
like
had a reason.
they like Becky. They thought Becky was good, but not Rebecca.
Hmm.
Kind of weird. I
So
was
it's
almost
actually, it is actually is just Becky. It was never
mm-hmm.
Rebecca.
Becky
Yeah.
with a Y. Yep.
Mm.
Becky
Well, I like
Joe.
Zephyr. I think Zephyr
But
is a really cool name.
don't call me Becky Joe, whatever you do.
Oh, now I want coffee because you said Joe. Sometimes they call it cup of Joe.
It's really funny is whenever I was a dancer, my stage name was Smoke.
Smoke.
Yeah, because like the first place that I worked, everybody was a gemstone, but all the good ones were taken. So I was like, smoky quartz, I'll just be Smoke. And they were
That's a
like,
cool name.
okay, it's kind of like not really a gemstone, but it's like they let me get away with it, I guess,
They let
because
you
they
in their
want
little
to mock me.
gang. Yeah.
Yeah. So people would ask me like, obviously that's not your real name, and I was like, yeah, it is. My name is Smokey Joe. I
Smoky
said my
Joe.
parents really like Smokey Robinson
Mm,
and coffee, like,
yeah.
and they were like really, really. And then whenever I had my daughter and came back, my youngest daughter, um, I became Jeannie. So because it was a nice transition
Hmm.
to go from Smoke to Jeannie.
Interesting. Yeah. So you went back in the bottle or out of the bottle?
No, I came back out of the bottle eventually, but then I went back in, and
Yeah.
this is my bottle. You're
So
in my bottle.
do you not leave the house very much? Are you
Oh no,
agoraphobic?
I leave the house
Oh,
totally.
okay.
But it's like I have friends. I go visit them,
Yeah.
and Scott does most of the shopping, and yeah. But I am kind of a homebody.
Yeah. And you don't want to move regardless of what happens with the economy or, you know, the ocean levels rising.
Well,
I mean,
I
you're
think
pretty far
I'm
from the ocean, so
yeah, I'm pretty far from the ocean, so I don't think I have to worry about the ocean getting this far. But yeah, I'm nicely situated, but I actually might eventually move if we can't buy the place. So
yeah. Oh, you're renting.
yeah, we're renting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, and there could be a big influx of people, right? If the coastlines get flooded, then you might see a lot of people coming through, but maybe that's an
Maybe
opportunity to meet people and
totally.
help
And we live
people.
on a dead end
Yeah.
street. It's easy to miss. So it's like I'll
Mhm.
still have my little corner.
Yeah. Well, I'm not very, I don't know. I feel like I'm in an odd space today,
Yeah.
but everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Or else it would
Um,
happen some other way.
yep, yep. And sometimes we try too hard, right?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. It's like some people overcorrect. I
Hmm.
try not to do that. I'm consciously aware of it. I don't like to overcorrect. It like
Hmm.
really screws you up.
Well, I don't think you're screwed up. I think you're pretty well adjusted.
Thank you.
Is Scott there? Can we get Scott on the show?
He's outside.
Oh, he's
I
out.
don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he come on camera or is he shy?
He hasn't been on camera yet. He's actually out building the garden right now.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, maybe next time
he's
we
putting
should
the
do like
water
a
in.
garden tour, and you can ask him if he wants to participate. Garden
Yeah,
tool.
maybe. I just got him his first deck of tarot cards the other day. He's
Oh,
like expressing interest, which I think is fantastic. I never expected that.
that's
So
cool.
I got him a
Which
tarot
deck
deck,
did you
and
get him?
I got him the it's what was it called? It's called the Unseen World.
Mm.
It's like lots of animal, and it's got a good book. It was a nice set. I only paid $16 from it for it.
Wow, that is cheap.
Yeah, and it was just like a good basic set, I thought. And he was reading it in the bathroom earlier, so it's like,
There you
yay.
go.
And then I got like I ordered some books, and I got an extra book on egregores, so I like gave him the extra egregore book. We'll see.
Cool.
Maybe he'll be magic too. He likes being a fart wizard. I know that.
Maybe maybe he'll be maybe he'll exceed you in the tarot department.
It's possible, it's
Yeah.
like I feel like in him I feel like this like really like pure energy. Like I've always felt it in him, and I think he's not aware of it yet.
Oh, so
So
he's a really sweet soul, it sounds like.
yeah,
That's
for the
cool.
most part. I mean, he's got a little bit of a naughty streak too, or else I wouldn't
Yeah.
find it interesting. But
I have only 10% battery left. So I think we better wrap it up. I'm sorry.
well, we
Yeah,
we like actually didn't die this time.
we
It was
didn't
good.
die. We actually had a full conversation, which
That was
is
so weird
awesome.
how it was like you were like, what does the hanged man mean? And I was like,
And then it just cuts out. Yeah,
I
those
was like,
last two episodes.
that timing of that was like ridiculous. I was like, whenever I watched it again, I was like, oh
Yeah.
my
But
god.
that's how this show works. It's like it's okay. cut, print, it's perfect.
Yeah, and you don't do any editing, huh? No
No
editing at
editing,
all?
never. Sometimes
Wow,
I'll add a little bit of music, but that's it.
that's cool. I
There
like
was
it.
one
I like it.
episode that's like, that's stupid, but that's how I run this show. You
Stupid
know?
is entertaining, man. I
Yeah.
mean, and you wouldn't believe, like, if you go back later and watch some of the things that you made that you think are stupid, you'll be like, whoa,
There's a
that's so
lot of
deep.
stuff that kind of connects, and because it's organic, you just let it happen.
Mhm. Well, and you can see the synchronicity everywhere
Mhm.
now. It's like you were the first video that I watched this morning, your newest hunter one,
Oh, okay,
and
thank you.
and that would like popped me right in the flow. You know, it's like it doesn't matter what it is. You can actually like watch something totally retarded.
It is retarded. Did you notice it was
Well,
5 minutes and 55 seconds?
I did. That's
Yeah,
part of why I clicked on it
yeah.
because I mean, of course it's you and I'm a fan, but I was like,
Oh,
you
thank
know,
you.
but I was like, oh, that's like really 555. Yeah, 555. I've been getting 333 lately. Lots more 333s.
For me, it's like ones and sevens, a lot of ones and sevens.
Yeah, and definitely somebody else was saying like threes and sevens
Yep,
lately too.
all the time. Well, my whole life it's been threes, and then the fives came in, and then the sevens came in, and now it's back to
Well,
ones. So I
yeah,
don't know.
and that like that Kabbalah video that I sent you, that is like the one about the nines.
Hmm.
So it has the picture. It looks like a W, kind of,
Yep.
you know. That one, that just like now I see the symbolism everywhere, and even in my messy, like cluttery house, I like will see like the order of everything as it is. It's like so weird because it's like everything really is how it should be.
So you're clicking into that kind of, the
And
universe
you
is
can see
unfolding as it should.
it's like
Yeah.
you can see it like an overlay. It's almost like you have Google Glass without Google Glass, you know?
It's like Google Glass without Google Glass.
That's what it is. It's like it's almost like an overlay of your whole reality. It's very like surreal.
I
I
love
wish I
it.
could I wish
I
I could
like
beam it right
surrealism.
into your head. If I could beam it right into your head, that would be really cool.
Mhm. I
And you
know what
could
you're
get it.
talking about because I have moments where I feel that intensely, but I don't think I feel it in the same way that you do.
Oh, well, yeah, everybody feels
Yeah,
everything a little bit differently,
we're
but
all
I
so
think if we
different.
were finally telepathic, then I could just beam it into your head and you could.
Like you do with Vox,
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. And
kind of.
it would be a ubiquitous, you know.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I will see you, I'm sure, on Instagram.
Yeah,
Um,
I definitely enjoyed this. We'll have to do
Zephyr
a live sometime.
1369, and we will do a live on Instagram, so stay tuned for that.
Cool. Yeah, just hit me up. I only need like 3 hours in advance. Not, you
Three
know.
hours. Yeah, that's all you need is 3 hours notice. I'm good to go whenever. You're like, I need 3 hours. I
I
gotta do
need
my
three
makeup.
hours because like I have to get myself in the right state, you know? And it's like, oh,
Right mind state. Okay, well, I
yep.
appreciate you taking the time. And
Cool.
do you want me to put this? I'll put this up in the cloud so you can. Are you going to publish as well, or do you want me just to put it up?
I could, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually do have a YouTube channel too.
Okay, I'll put it in Google Drive or something, and you
Cool.
can put it
Yeah, if you do
on.
that, I definitely I have a Google Drive, and if you need more space, I can pop up a folder for you to put it in.
I might. Yeah, I might do that.
Cool. Just let me know because I actually pay for
Yeah.
it. So because I have so
Okay.
much art.